Hello, everybody. My name is Justice Aaliyah Smith Riley, and I'm back here today with I'm probably going to say it wrong. I said mukbang, and that's probably not it. My brother was like, no, it's mukbang. Mukbang. Okay, well, today I want to say another thing. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there and the wonderful dads out there. All right. So what I have is some food that we made. I have a burger, a big old burger, but that I made on the grill and made like with a barbecue sauce glaze on there. I cut it in half because it was too big, the actual meat patty itself. I have a hot dog with just mustard on cooked on the grill. That's fine with me. I like mustard a lot. I have some corn and some beans. We don't really eat a whole bunch of sides. We're not even gonna lie to ourselves and make a whole bunch of healthy sides. So we just keep it simple. Corn and beans, pretty good. And we don't even do potato salad. So okay, I'm gonna take a little bit of a bite of some things, and then we'll just talk a little bit. This is my first one of these videos. Now let's go ahead and get the elephant out of the room. And we could talk about the room itself. So I used to sleep in a room with the purple walls in it, but my brother lives here now, and so I got this room. I decided this room has like a door, and I was able to hang up this mirror. You can't see it because it's on the other side. I like it in here, and it's more close off, and I feel like the AC gets in better. Thank God for another blessing. We got the AC fixed too because we was dripping in sweat. I'm glad the dog made it. I was like, thank you, Jesus, for blessing the dog to make it through that. Yeah, but you know, God's will still be done, I believe. God still has us, I believe. Well, so if you see this room, it is actually I guess you would say, refurbished closet, but it's perfectly fine for me. I have the twin size bed in here, which I had in the last room. I have some decoration stands. Have my actually have my plate of food on top of the thing, something that I use for my room. I have the TV fits in here. It's plugged up and everything. The whole big old dresser. It's actually big enough, for everything. So I like it. It's pretty nice. I thank God for it. Could be a lot worse. And there's a lot of room to grow, I believe. Even though this room is small. Get it? Your room. Oh, my forehead. Okay, then. Okay, so I'm just gonna look down at my phone and kind of just look down and see if I can find a topic we could talk about for a little bit. I like these types of videos. It's more relaxed, more in the mood. So I'm not really a TV type of person, honestly. There's not a lot to watch on TV, and I go to school 4 days out of the week now during the summer, trying to catch up. I don't even have time to come. By the time I get home in the evening most days. Which, a matter of fact, we'll talk about the other topic, what I'm gonna tell y'all about, and go ahead and tell y'all a little rant. Well, basically, I just went all over places. Um, I guess looking on YouTube, I kind of see what I want to talk about. Well, a lot of people know I've been working since I was 17 years old. I've been just doing that thing, with the working. Really, I didn't need to work originally, but I want to gain experience, and I wanted to not be so, I guess, so cocky, and I want to gain, that working mentality. Like, I can do it. My first job, I was a hostess at a Tex-Mex restaurant. I worked there from when I was 17 to when I was 19, so basically 2 years. Yeah. So, but then from the beginning, my birthday's early in the year. So, from the beginning, the month before my birthday, because it was January when I left the place. The place, I don't know if we should say names. It's a Tex-Mex restaurant. So when I left there, I realized I needed a little bit more than $200 a paycheck. I no longer was in high school anymore because I graduated that previous spring of, so a year ago now. So I was like, this is out of the way. It was like 15 minutes away. I was only getting like $200 a check. And then literally two books would cost the whole paycheck. And then I still need to give gas. So I was like, this is not working out. So I got another job at a 7-Eleven that's way more popular than a Tex-Mex restaurant. I'm not afraid to say 7-Eleven. So I worked at actually, another note, it's not really a 7-Eleven. It's a Stripes becoming a 7-Eleven, but they're starting to sell products there, I applied for I completely forgot what I was gonna say. I applied for the cashier. Maybe I should edit that out. I'm just kidding. I applied for the cashier, department, I guess you would say. But due to the fact that I have lack of experience, some places will like that when you have a lack of experience. You know what I mean? But other places don't. They don't like the lack of experience, Mm, they did it. So, so I decided, okay, I was so desperate. I did not want to work at the Tex-Mex restaurant anymore. I did not have enough money for anything. I literally had no money. So what I decided to do was, I was so desperate. I was like, okay, I'll just work in the kitchen. I'll see how that goes. It's gonna be cooking. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be a new experience. Cleaning's easy. Boy, I was lying. I was lying for that. I was lying. That was a hard job. Very, very, very hard job. I got hired and they're low staffed and they have a huge turnover, so they need people all the time, basically. The day that I finished that application, I got a phone call. Oh, sorry, my dog's kind of trying to come inside, so if you hear scratches. The day I applied, they hired me. The day of, they call me and say, let's go and get this, what is it, interview. Yeah, English. In an interview. Let's get that out of the way. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I already have another job and stuff. And I'm like, put in my 2 weeks. I immediately put in my 2 weeks that day. I went up to the town and I put in my 2 weeks at the Tex-Mex. And I was like, yeah, I did it. Okay. Sounds cute and all. We got a little mustard in here. Okay. First couple of weeks at that job, it was alright. A little bit later on, it was like hard. It was hard. And I got moved to the evenings because I told them I could work either or. They asked you what your times you can work. I was like, either or, but only these days of the week. I can't do Monday and Wednesday because it was still spring. So I was in my spring semester of college. So I was like, I just can't do Mondays and Wednesdays because I'm at college. I need to focus on school all day on school days. Other days I'm willing to give, but on those school days. And I told them I prefer at least one more day off besides that. Well, for a little while they were doing that. They gave me Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So I had that break between this, that, and then the rest of the week I work. And sometimes they give me Thursday. But it's like, it was okay. But then I'm so, then later on it's like they cared less and less. And it got to the point, even at the very end, the very last time, the last week I worked there, I told them from the very beginning. I told the general manager and I told 2 floor managers. I told them, I guess you would say, like the ones who were there with you, basically. I told 2 of them and I told the store manager. I asked them not to schedule me Monday and Wednesday because I was consistent. And I told them that from the beginning, so that's just the thing. I don't expect every Saturday and Sunday. That's like every weekend, every Friday. Like, I don't expect that. Just school days. And even the very last week I worked there, they scheduled me Monday. I was like, I can't do this anymore. I was like, I cannot do this anymore. I cannot do this anymore. I was like, no. It was very hard. It was 8-hour shifts, which sounds good pay-wise. But then you couldn't even get overtime. After a while, they're like, you can't do that anymore. No more overtime. So I was like, well, then I'm not even making that much. I'm not progress. I don't really have a lot of progression. Excuse me if I say that wrong. I'll admit I say things wrong. Working there, I was like, oh, heck no, I can't do this. I was like, Mm. Yeah, and I was like, I can't do this anymore. Y'all don't listen to me. I'm done with it. I still put in my 2 weeks because I like working in gas stations. I just wanted to be a cashier originally. So in a way, I kind of knew I wasn't going to be there. I wasn't going to be there like that. So, but I still put in my 2 weeks because at the end of the day, I can at least say with this second job, no one was really disrespectful to me like that. You know, it was just like whatever. It's just they didn't really listen to my needs when it came to my schedule. And another thing that kind of like almost, I would say, hurt my feelings personally is the fact that they would never give me a weekend off. I started working there in January. My birthday's February. I specifically requested for that weekend on my birthday off. This is the only time they gave me a Saturday off. I worked there from January till May. And I was like, y'all can never give me so much as a weekend, but other people would get like a week. I think some of you people even get a week and a half off, and they just, whatever, I'll just not schedule you. But I couldn't even get a single weekend off. So it's tiring. I worked probably the time I worked the absolute most when it comes to the pay period, we got paid bi-weekly. The time I worked the absolute most, I got 65 hours. I told them I was part-time. I told them to be part-time. You give me 65 hours and I'm part-time. I'm just sitting here like, you don't listen, but okay. That was the problem. It's like they didn't listen. And if you try to suggest things too much, it's like, it starts to sound like you're complaining to certain people. I didn't like that. So, things happen. Things happen. And I'm just like, okay, I just gotta go. Another reason why I needed to leave was because, school is a lot harder during the summer. I took the maximum amount of classes I could get, I already said to catch up. Because I didn't pass my TSI. So it's like the test for each subject. I didn't pass 2 of them. So I had to take like a remedial class with 2 of them. So those are 2 class periods that were filled, and they didn't give me any credit. Which for math, it was very, very, very helpful. But like still, it didn't give me any credit. And I already took the minimum amount of classes, basically. So I did not get a lot of credit my first year. So I was like, I need to go ahead and take summer classes. So it goes by credit hours. The most you could get is the 6 credit hours for like summer 1 and summer 2. And so basically you could take up to 4 classes around that. Some classes have more credits. Lab is 1, but I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I like to take science more during the give me the maximum amount of time because I'm majoring in science, so I want to really just sit down and understand it. Basically, all that happened, and the very next day after I finally left the job, what I put in my 2 weeks, and that's another reason why I'm kind of like, oh, I do not miss that job. I put in my 2 weeks the day after I ended up going back to where my dad's side of the family is from to go visit family. Well, I put in my 2 weeks. What I didn't like about that is I'm going on vacation. I need some more money for vacation. Well, I put in my 2 weeks. When you put in your 2 weeks, you should be able to have when you put in the 2 weeks, you should be able to get a regular schmegler 2 weeks worth of money like any other time, as if you just started here and you're trying to teach them and still give them extra hours so they're willing to stay. You should be able to get those good old fashioned good hard hours in. Well, within 2 weeks, they didn't schedule me the second week. And the first week of the 2 weeks, they scheduled me Monday when I told everybody I could not work Mondays and Wednesdays. So I was like, okay. I guess not. And when they do a new schedule on the piece of paper each week, I know y'all don't know it like that. Y'all don't work with me, but you've seen it. A lot of people on here have seen enough a schedule, like that. It was on the paper. So the second week, I noticed my name was completely removed. I was like, I guess I got a 1 week, even though I gave out 2 weeks because it's a professional thing to do. And I got 1, so I'm like, I was like, okay. So less money for the vacation. Annoying. I was like, okay. Yeah. Kind of trash. Guess we'll try this burger. I put cheese, barbecue sauce, and mustard. Yes, barbecue sauce and mustard. And the burger already has barbecue sauce on it. I really like it. And there's lots of mustard. So good. Thank God. Yeah, so that was not cool. It wasn't cool at all. It wasn't cool at all. Uh, oh well. I'm still blessed. It's not like I was homeless or anything and I desperately needed that money. But I still haven't paid for my summer 2 classes yet. And I'm just like, oh, I gotta get it by next month. I gotta pay for those classes. And I've applied for 7 places already. 7 places. I'm about to start doing the callbacks now. The last 2 or 3 places I'm not gonna call yet because it was later in the week, so I'm gonna wait. But the first 4 places I'm gonna call starting tomorrow. And I'm just like, oh dang, I pray and I pray and I pray I get a job. I need a job, and I just need less hours on a job, but I still need a job. And basically, I'm gonna be doing the Monday through Thursday for the rest of the time I'm here at Brazosport College. I'm gonna do the absolute rest of it. So, yeah. Also, other things I did not like about that job, the first job, it's really gonna be another video in itself. Why the first job it just could not be. It's kind of a video in itself. I think I could do a little quick, like a little video to cap on that one. But the second job, I did not like it because I work in the kitchen. Evening shifts only have 2 people in the kitchen department. And cashiers don't really help you. It's not really their job. They have enough things to do. I understand that. But in the evening shifts, there's only 2 people. In the morning, there's like 6, sometimes even 7 people. But in the evening shifts, there are 2 people. 2. And it's a manager. And another thing is, there was never managers during the nighttime. It was rare. Earlier in the week, there's managers. But the weekends, that's like if somebody volunteer. I ain't even gonna lie. So basically, and the thing is, I don't really just like to start drama. I'm not confrontational. I'm fine with if somebody says, oh, work in the back, in the kitchen itself, or work in the front, serving the line, serving all the customers. Every single time from the very beginning to the very end, I never once, the whole time I was working there, y'all, the whole time, not even one time I worked in the back in the kitchen. I always served the line. Always, 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 always serve the line. The only exception to that is there would be times that I had to do both help out in the kitchen and serve the line. But there's never been a time I just sat in the kitchen and cleaned and washed the dishes and sit around. Both jobs are hard, but let me tell you something right now. Serving in line is not a joke. You serve every customer that whole entire shift. It is 1 to 9 o'clock. We don't close till 8. So there's a good chunk of stuff you cannot eat. You cannot do any of the dishes in the line because you need the food in the line. You can't really refreshing the food is constant, literally to the end of the shift. Excuse me, at the fried food because they have that all night, so that's just constant. It's like a Mexican-like food. Some authentic Mexican, some not really all that authentic. That was that was I don't know how to say. There was a salsa bar that basically had to be used all the way up until the end because the majority of stuff was stuff you could put in a tortilla. So you know you couldn't really clean up that area. Then I serve the food. I clean the salsa bar. I fry up the food in the hot co. I clean the hot co. I sweep and mop and clean up the whole line. I actually cook the food in the line too. The lady in the kitchen won't even do that after a certain point. So I cook food too and help out what I can in the kitchen. That I did all that, cooking, cleaning that, and I serve all the customers. So I rarely ever got so much as a restroom break. Thank God I didn't smoke because if I didn't smoke, I would have been a fussy person. Yeah, so I did that the whole entire shift. Now, granted, the job in the kitchen's still hard because you gotta make up all the like the flour and for the tortillas and stuff like that. Well, the problem with that is when you're in the back, you don't serve any customers. The kitchen is like a huge, big old kitchen. So it actually stays pretty cool in there, with the exception of the actual grill and the fryer where I be making the stuff for the hako. Okay, so that's an exception. But then if you're not frying anything in the fryer, that actually stays pretty. There's like a vent up there, of course, there's vent, so everywhere series pretty cool actually in there. I stay in the line. The line is always hot because I have to actually they prep the dough or the masa, but I actually make the tortillas. I roll them out and cook all of the tortillas. So I stayed hot the whole time because that grill had to all the grills and it's not a comal, but it's a griddle. Yeah, the griddles. Those stayed on the whole entire time. There was two of those and a grill and all the stuff and the food in the line, all that stuff has to stay hot for stay to this food safety part. So all of that area was constantly hot. There's a cashier that stays literally next to me. That whole energy and the heat between people to people, the AC goes out quite often in the front part, and I barely got any breaks to do anything. And honestly, another problem with the place was I'm gonna have to tell y'all something. I'm gonna have to tell y'all something. There was no water there. There was no water. Let me just say that one more time. There was no water. Nothing was free there. So, and there's no discounts there. And I didn't really, I thought of it because I was like, this is my second travel. I thought every place has a discount. There's no discounts on anything. And there's no water. There was no water fountain, and there was no what is it? Not foundation drink or fountain drink. Like the soda dispensers and all that. There was no water option. There was no water option there, and there was no water fountain. I went an 8-hour shift most times, and sometimes up to 10 hours because multiple times there was not somebody else there. It would be just me. I went 8 to 10 to even one time 11 hours. 11 hours, y'all. But 10 quite often, and 10 basically anytime it was just me, with no water, 1 to 2 restroom breaks. Granted, I've had kidney stones before. I'm not supposed to even hold urine. 1 to 2 restroom breaks. 3 maybe restroom breaks. No water, no discount, and so there's no food, and you're not even allowed to bring in food. I had to do that a lot of times. Work every single weekend, only $9 an hour. It was not worth it. It was not worth it at all. And I was disrespected by a few people there. I can't do disrespects. So I was like, oh, no. I was like, nope, goodbye. I said goodbye. And now I could tell the turnover. I didn't think about how bad the turnover was there. And I should have maybe took into consideration I should not go in there because of the turnover. And a prime example of how bad the turnover is, the very girl that replaced me, I left May, is June. The end of May, like the last 3/4, like in somewhere in the 20s. I have, the numbers. I left in May. It is mid June, like a little bit before mid-June. I went to the mall yesterday, the local mall, to go get my charms put on my bracelet from my grandma. Gave me charms from back where I was from, or my dad's side of the family's from. I came back, I got these charms put on there because I forgot to bring the bracelet, and I didn't even think she would have charms because she doesn't have a charm bracelet, but she had a couple. I went to the mall. And on the way there, on the way back, I was like, I'm gonna get a cookie because my mom drove to a local fast food restaurant. She didn't feel like walking around the mall. She was like, okay, I'll just go there and you go get your charm, get your bracelet back, and we'll just meet up. So my mom's is coming, and I decided to walk by, and I turn around. I was like, I'm gonna get a cookie. I'm gonna get some of these chewy chocolate cookies from Cookie America. Very good, chewy chocolate. They got deals, pretty good. Really, if you get like bulk size, they have deals, but it's really, really good. I like them. They're not, no sponsor or anything, obviously. I mean, 15 subscribers, no sponsor. uh, so, yeah, we're good. It was good. Sorry, I was looking down my phone. I started getting quite a few little notifications. Yeah. So I was at the cookie place, and I seen the very girl that replaced me working at the cookie place. And I could tell, like, people just don't stay there. And yes, she may have 2 jobs, but I doubt it, y'all. And that is an example. I left not even a month ago, not even a full month ago. I left. And the girl that replaced me is already working somewhere else. I believe she has a husband. And a matter of fact, I seen him at the grocery store because we live in the same town. The town that we worked at is where we live. She doesn't need to work 2 jobs. I can tell you that. I believe that in my heart. She does not need to work 2 jobs. So when I seen the nice truck her husband came out in and they were together. I didn't talk to her because I was already leaving when she was just barely coming in. So I seen her, and I was like, just had a clue. I'm like, oh, I have a feeling she already does not work there anymore. Because when I seen her at the cookie place, I was like, that's her. I wanted to say hello to her, but she looked like I don't know. People just had that. I'm maybe busy, so I didn't want to like be like that. And I want to wave, but I didn't get a cookie anyways because they didn't have the chewy chocolate at that time too. So I was like, I just looked. They didn't have it. I was like, oh, okay. Mm. Well, I was like, okay, that's lit. That is wonderful. But she was nice. It's just we never worked together because she was the girl who was going to replace me, so we don't really need to work together because I'm still there. And we didn't. The only time we worked together is I think the second day she came in was I'm evening shift and she worked morning shift, and then when they took me out in the middle of the 2 weeks, I would have liked the full 2 weeks, but you know what? I think anyone would. But I forgive. It's just it is sad because other people need money a lot more than me. Like, imagine if I had some kids or whatever that really could have did something to somebody, and people really need to be more considerate of that. And it is hurtful. Thank God, I praise the Lord that I'm not in a situation like that forever. Praise Him in Jesus' name. But that really could have hurt somebody else. Cutting their 2 weeks, expecting 2 weeks, and you give them one. And I was already, then all of a sudden they wanted to be real part-time. So, that last week. So it's like, I got 3 days. 3 days. I got Monday that I didn't want. I got Friday and I got Saturday. The weekend again. And then Saturday, I looked on the new schedule and my name got removed. And I was like, you always should be respectful. I believe that. I do believe that you should always be respectful. But if it's getting to the point where it's messing with somebody's being that neglectful to the point that it's messing with your financial stability, and it's not even hurting you, it's just hurting everybody else, it's a waste of gas. If you're not even making enough money only to get gas, you're wasting your time. If you're only making enough money to be a little bit barely over gas, in a way, you're wasting everybody's time because now you're miserable. And when you're miserable, sometimes you make other people miserable. Maybe not intentional, but you do that. So it's like, it's not worth it. Don't do that to people. They don't deserve that just because, they're younger than you or they work below you. People don't deserve that. But oh well. I'm blessed and I still made it. We all still. I believe in Jesus' name. Excuse me, I'm a little bit burpy. I think it's the mustard or something in here. And I did not like that, honestly. But oh well. So basically that's some of the reasons why I had to leave my most recent job. I've been applying for jobs. I need some, but that's just about it. I want to tell all y'all that I love you. God bless you in Jesus' name. And I pray that God's will is done, not ours. Because when we start doing our will, things start messing up. There's some things I should have did. I should have saved some more money. More wise. I am try to even stretch my money just a little bit longer. But I thank God I'm not in a bad predicament. Because a lot of other people could have been a lot harder. I don't want to say worse, but it could have been a lot harder. So, try to stretch your money a little bit longer, I understand you don't want to be miserable and you shouldn't just be miserable, surely out of the reason, oh, I have less money. So I understand if you want to do a little something for yourself here and there, but be very considerate and be very cautious with that because if you're low on money or you're running out of money to the point and you don't even know when you're going to get any more, you're really taking a risk. And I just don't get it. Just don't get how people can be so disrespectful. But, oh well. I pray. And it'll get better, I believe. Oh, y'all, this is just about it for this mukbang. I'm gonna have to figure out how to spell that. But, okay. I know I can. Obviously, I have a laptop, so, we have electronics. We can do stuff like that. We all do, I believe. Most of us. Alright. So, I think that's just about it for this video. This is long even for me, but mukbangs tend to be longer. That's another thing that I like. I'm a talker. I like to talk. Even if it starts to hit little circles and stuff like that, I like to talk. So mukbangs, it's almost like appropriate because you kind of have to excuse your eating too. And you're calm most times when you're eating a good meal. So it's like real simple. So I like mukbangs because it's kind of like it's multiple things in one. Vlogs are cool too, but I don't really quite have the most pristine technology for a vlog yet. Vlogs you can make kind of long too, but not yet. So I will talk to y'all later. I'll probably do another little video, a little shorter video, kind of explaining my first job, some of the tea there. But I'll talk to y'all later. I love y'all. God bless y'all all, and take care.